Our tax money helps pay for any implementation that you make to take care of down there in Bakersfield. And one of the things I wonder what our tax base is compared to Fraser Park's tax base. The amount of money you get from Pine Mountain Club versus the amount of tax money you get from Fraser Park. It's nice that you're doing all those things for Fraser Park. I didn't hear you say too much about what you're doing for Pine Mountain Club. I think what's happened is Pine Mountain Club is pretty self-sufficient, and I think our people up here are pretty proud of that fact. We build our own heliport, we put up our own guardrails, we take care of ourselves pretty much. But, like I said, be curious about how our tax base, how much we pay in taxes versus how much Fraser Park pays in taxes, and how much Fraser Park gets of all the nice little snow parks and the library and stuff you're doing for Fraser Park. What do we get? It's time for us to, you know, we can take care of ourselves, but it's time for us to stop paying and doing our own work. It's time for Kern County to start paying us back for some of our taxes and doing something for us up here.
Well, let's start off with $3 million for a fire station, okay?
We haven't got it.
Well, it's on its way. It's on its way.
Taxes, the checks and
the firefighter probably will run about $500,000 a year for Pine Mountain Club, because you've got all of the shifts that you have to cover with the additional firemen. So that's about $500,000. That's a start.
I'm so glad you brought up the air quality, because I don't think anybody's brought up the overdevelopment of this area. Cajon Ranch has several projects that will impact us, not just fire safety, but also our water and our roads and our air will be impacted by communities that are proposed to be built in Fraser Park. How are we going to support all this if we can barely support what we have now?
You want to both comment on that?
I would say this, that the air quality is better up here than it is in the valley.
The valley's the worst thing in the nation.
I guess one of the answers is to not allow any more people to come into Kern County, and we can put a fence up. But, you know, we still have an issue of whether people have property rights. You live here, you can say, well, we don't want any more people here, but somebody before you could have said they didn't want you here. And so I think you have to look at it with perspective that growth is going to occur. The population grows, the people are going to have to live somewhere. Now, you may not want them in your community, but maybe some other community doesn't want them in their community. I think what we have to do is make sure that whatever development does occur is done properly, and we have very strict mitigation measures for any development that occurs, whether it's in the mountain communities or anywhere else.
Where's the water going to come from?
Cliff, you want to talk about that? I can tell you the water is on the mountain right now and it's melting into our aquifers.
Aren't you lucky?
We're real good. I'm the secretary of your water company. And I'm sure glad we got snow this year. Let's let Cliff respond to that, and then we'll ask some other questions.
I'd like to respond to that by saying any community has to have a coalition of a group of people that pre-plan and plan 20 years down the road what they want their community to look like. That needs to take in air quality, water quality, and traffic issues, as well as public safety, police and fire, public works. If you're going to grow, you need to grow in a manner that benefits the community and that does not allow that development to impact upon those basic standards and the air quality, water quality, and issues that you also near and dear. Change is obvious. People might want to move in here, but if they want to move in, they need to do it in a manner that doesn't impact the rest of the community.
We just don't tell anybody where we are. Dan, do you have any questions, Sam?
Just one on the issue of cell tower, Mr. Watson. The research we've found is that there's very little interest up here by the big producers or providers. And the one that is interesting, you could do is T-Mobile. And they have very little interest right now to put it in their project list. But given the event that happened a little over a week ago, we lost phone service and therefore 911 capabilities. What can the supervisors do to assist a community like ours that is basically at the mercy of the provider? I can understand their rationale, it does make money, there's not a lot of interest. But what can be done?
I'll be happy to talk with whatever providers are up here or could potentially be up here and see if we can give some help in that.
I have an idea. The Department of Agriculture has a thing called the Rural Utilities Administration, and they provide for nonprofits in rural communities funding for things like telephone companies, electric companies, sewer systems. Has anybody thought about going after some of that money? Just a question. I used to write articles about this stuff, so I'm sort of up to speed on what is available, and I don't think you guys are looking hard enough. The other thing that sort of interests me, and I'm not a property owner here, I just rent, but everybody up here is paying double. You pay your association fees, which takes care of most of the heavy lifting around here, the snow clearing and so forth, and the maintenance and all of that. And then we also pay property taxes and a sewer fee in a community that's got nothing but septic tanks. What's going on? Why are we getting charged double and getting half the service?
I think that question you just answered a minute ago.
I think the answer is we're a private community, which is a little different than most communities because we are a private club. Frankie, you got a question? Then we'll go to the gentleman behind you, and then we'll get to you.
Ray, what have you done for Pine Mountain Club in comparison to what Mr. Thompson's done for Taft?
Well, I would say that Pine Mountain Club...
Physically, I mean, not just talking.
Well,
Well,
I gotta tell you,
not
you just don't snap your fingers and get $3 million to buy a fire station.
We've been waiting 4 years for you to snap your fingers.
Well, and they've been snapping all that time, and that's how long it takes to get it done.
You didn't answer the question. What have you done for us that Mr. Thompson's done for Taft in comparison?
Well, what has Mr. Thompson done for Taft? I've got a long list of stuff I've done for Taft, too. I've got a list of stuff
Well,
I've
that's
done
not
for
the
Lions
question.
Committee.
That's not the question. I said, what have you done for Pine Mountain Club in comparison to what Mr. Thompson's done for Taft?
I've secured a commitment for $3 million and added a third fireman. Actually, this community is better off than a lot of communities in Kern County.
We're not talking about other communities. We're concerned about Pine Mountain.
That's my answer. I can't give anything beyond that.